Food was never meant to be a pleasure source. And the moment you stop your emotional eating, your back will get smaller, sis. It will. We all know by now that weight loss is 80% what you eat and 20% moving your body. But you're having a really hard time with the most important part of the journey. Your food, and specifically your eating, and more specifically your emotional eating. Well, it's time to decenter food from your life because it was never meant to be pleasure. And the moment you shift your mind around this, things will become easier. So in today's video, let's chat about how we can decenter food from our life so that it's not controlling our life. But before we get into today's video, if you've never seen my face before, hey girl, hey, my name is Janae and I make a lot of content focused on fitness, wellness, and self-development and helping you and I live our best healthy and active lives. So if that sounds like something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're following me on TikTok and Instagram. I post a lot of different content over there. Give this video a big thumbs up if you're here for the sustainable weight loss tips, and comment down below and let me know, what is food doing to your life? How is it controlling your life? Let's chat and support each other in the comments below. I used to weigh damn near 300 pounds and I have pretty much cut my body weight in half. And I never struggled with the 20%. It was always the 80% like most of us do. People think that you gain weight by eating the wrong foods, but no, it's more to it than just that. Because I would eat the cleanest foods and still could not keep my weight off. My problem was different than what a lot of people make it out to be. I had an issue with emotional eating, no matter what that emotion was. Happy, mad, sad, like no matter what it was, I was eating the emotion. I also had an issue with boredom eating, graze eating. I mean, to be honest, I was just eating, okay? I was just eating and it was all to fill a void that I didn't know that I was trying to fill. And what made me realize my true problems when it came to food was honestly having weight loss surgery. Weight loss surgery is what helped me lose 125 pounds. And I had the gastric sleeve specifically. And with that, they take out 80% of your stomach, right? And so that means I couldn't overeat. That means I couldn't emotionally eat. I couldn't stuff my face like I wanted to. And that exposed me to know that it wasn't my food choices. It was everything else that I was using to cope with food. So now ask yourself, what is your issue with food? Do you just not know what to eat? Because there are plenty of helpful information out there helping you know what to eat on your calorie deficit. And I have my own little grocery list that I made for you guys. I'll link it in the cards above. Do you not know like what your calorie deficit is? Because I also have a video for that as well. But for a lot of us, we're using food as some type of coping mechanism. And we don't even know that that's what we're doing. So here's some mindset changes that I made to decenter food from my life. Because though I have this weight loss tool to help me lose weight, if I don't fix my issues, my emotional issues when it comes to food, I am going to land back where I was. So here is how I was able to decenter food from my life. Food is fuel, nothing more, nothing less. So because I had weight loss surgery, I had to obviously prioritize certain macros and nutrients so that way my body could have enough fuel to keep going and be healthy. And this allowed me to finally realize and understand that food is just fuel. Protein has all of your amino acids. It sustains your lean muscle mass. It helps you keep going. Healthy carbs give you energy, gives you energy for your brain and for your movement throughout the day. Even down to the micronutrients. Fiber helps remove fat from your body. Calcium gives you support for your bones. I mean, everything that you put in your body serves a purpose in a scientifical way. So when you reflect on the times of you being sick, you having the flu, you're barely eating and how weak and drained you feel, think of it that way. You don't have to necessarily have weight loss surgery like I did to remember the times where you wasn't getting enough fuel in. Or if we want to take it a step further, you're on a very severe calorie deficit. Now you're trying to weight train in the gym and you don't have enough energy and fuel because you're not putting in to your body what it is that you need, which is the actual food. Taste buds aside, food is just fuel, and you can reflect on any moment in time where you didn't have enough food in your body, and your body told you that by performing in a weaker way. So that made me think of things in a more complex way. But okay, maybe you're not a nerd like I am and you don't really care about all that. Let's take things a step further on decentering food from your life. Removing the pleasure out of it. And what I mean by removing the pleasure out of it, I can recognize and acknowledge that food tastes good without using it as a way to please me. You're doing your little happy dance. You know what you're about to cook for dinner. You got your plate coming to you. You're already salivating in your mouth. That right there is the issue. It's the problem, sis. You're making this a whole climatic thing, and it doesn't have to be that. While still acknowledging that you want your food to taste good, because I don't want to eat nasty food. I've done it on several diets before. I don't want to eat nothing nasty again just to lose weight. But that doesn't mean I have to make it a whole show, a whole fiesta in my brain. Getting all of this dopamine, a fix, a high off of something that's supposed to fuel my body. And as soon as I eat it, it's going to go away. And then if I eat something that maybe I'm not supposed to have, or it's going to make me feel bad, or I overstuff myself, now that dopamine high feeling is removed from me, and I immediately feel guilt. I feel bad. I feel like I'm hating myself because I ate something that I knew I shouldn't have. But either way, I put too much emotional currency into this plate of food that I'm going to scarf down. And let me know if you're feeling this. Let me know. Let's be honest with ourselves, because that used to be me. Doing my little happy dance because I'm getting something. It's hours from now, but I'm already thinking about the food. I'm so hyped. I get it. I eat it. Now what? Now what? No longer am I eating to create an experience out of it. I can eat it, acknowledge that it's good, and be done with it and move on with my life without already thinking, I'm not even done with this plate and I'm already thinking about the next meal. My mind is doing this. My fingers is doing this. I don't have to do that anymore by decentering this pleasurable experience from food. You may be saying to yourself, well, you don't understand. In my religion, in my ethnic background, in my culture, this is what we do. We come together and we're cooking all these dishes, and this is how we celebrate and all that stuff. And that may be true, but does that mean you have to have 5 plates now? Does that mean you have to pack on your plate with pounds and pounds and pounds of food now because this is a cultural thing that you do? This is a religious thing that you do. This happens only once, twice, 3 times a year. Does that mean that you have to make it a whole experience in a thing? It doesn't. It doesn't mean that. You can still enjoy what is your culture, your religion, your background, while still not being fixated off of the food that's in front of you. You can still recognize that your religious food, your ethnic food, your background food, your cultural food, whatever the case may be, is good and it's a part of you without it being the center of your life that you're fixated on. Because to be honest, the point of coming together as a religion, as a community, as a family, no matter what it is that you're coming together for, is for community. It's for socializing. It's for connecting together. And food may be one way, but it isn't the only way. The interpersonal relationships that you're having with people, the communication that you're having with people, that is the way, the top way that the reason why you're coming together, to be honest. The memories that you're creating is that you're having it with a person, not with food. Food is a component of it, but you're not creating memories and relationships and emotional connections with the plate that's in front of you that you're going to scarf down and forget and digest and poop out later. It's with the person that's sitting beside you. Well, now we know that food is fuel and that we can recognize that it tastes good without making it a pleasurable experience that's filling some type of void that's in us. So now let's address your boredom eating, as it's probably tied to your emotional eating. I had somebody ask me today on TikTok Live, how do you get over the boredom eating? And please don't just tell me to stay busy. And I understood that 100% because it took more than just staying busy for me, because I could be busy and take my snacks with me, okay? If I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna eat. What I realized with boredom eating is that there's two components, and this one component is honestly gonna go into another tip, so I'm just gonna talk about it and address it now. You're not eating enough whole foods and nutritional things. You're eating highly processed foods that is triggering that craving, that pleasure for food to begin with. And now, if you watch any of my vlogs, the Discipline Diaries, where I'm showing you how to live a more healthy and fit life after massive weight loss, I don't eat 100% clean. I'm not like this whole foods, clean ingredients, all of that stuff type of girly. But majority of my food is clean. I do pick about 80% cleaner ingredients because I've come to recognize that these processed things that they put on the shelves were triggering me. It was triggering the sugar cravings, the food noise, the wanting more, and not satisfying my stomach, not leaving me satiated, which made me want to eat more. And so though in my grocery list video, I am showing you a good amount of processed items, if it helps get you going in your calorie deficit, cool. But eventually, and I'm pretty sure I said this in a video, you're going to want to move to whole foods because that stuff is going to trigger you if you have too much of it. And so reflect on your own journey. Like, do you eat a lot of processed foods? Do those foods make you feel satiated and full and good for hours to where you're not even thinking about food because you're so full still? Or after 30 minutes, an hour, you're thinking about the next snack? It could be the quality of the food that you're putting into your body. And so when it came to boredom eating, that was something that I was finding within myself. Moving on to the second part of boredom eating, for me, it was mostly tied to an emotion. You know, after 2 years of being successful on my weight loss journey, I still struggle with boredom eating. And I had to be honest with my own self about this. And it really was stemming from work. I do work overnight in the ER. It's overnight. It's not as busy as it is during the day. I'm up for 12 hours. I'd rather be sleeping. And so I found myself boredom eating and graze eating and just continuously doing this, grabbing for something. And I find that it was because I was anxious. I was anxious just being at work. I was tired and it was triggering me so much so to where I think it's about time that I actually stop my overnight work. In the next few months, I'm probably going to give up my job because for me, I would rather have something not trigger me. And if work is going to be a trigger for me, then it's time to just find something else because I'd rather be healthy for the rest of my life than have a job trigger me, no matter what type of trigger it is. I was finding with me, I was tired and I was anxious. And when I reflect on my own journey and any times of me being bored, it was that. I was very anxious, and I can't even give you like a clear example of why, but that is the feeling that comes to mind when I reflect on my boredom eating. And again, like I said, I used to eat with any type of emotion. If I was angry about something, I'm eating. If I was happy, we're celebrating something, I'm eating. If I was sad about something, I'm not one of those girls who, oh my God, break up with me and I'm going to lose so much weight because I'm not going to eat. I was never one of those girls. I was always the girl to eat my emotions. So I agree with that commenter. It takes more than just staying busy to avoid that boredom eating. If your boredom eating is triggered by not being busy enough, then boom, you have your answer to that. If it's triggered by highly processed items, then boom, you have your answer to that. But if it's triggered by your emotions, then it is time to maybe tap into therapy, maybe journal, write down the underlying issue. We're looking at this as an iceberg, right? You look at an iceberg, it's only a little tip. But underneath the surface is a mountain. So what is that mountain that you have been avoiding, but you're dealing with it by stuffing your face? You probably don't even know that that's what you're doing. And maybe I'm shedding some type of light on you right now. Let's chat a little bit about hobbies, hanging out with your friends and your closest family and all that stuff, because majority of that stuff, again, is surrounded by food. We're getting together. We have our little charcuterie boards. We're getting brunch. We're getting bottomless mimosas. We're doing the most. Everything that we do with our friends, with our girlies, is centered around food. And y'all all want to lose weight. Y'all all want to lose weight, to be honest. Y'all all want to drop 10 pounds, prepare for summer. Y'all all want to do that. So why everything we're doing has to involve food? It's time to get together with your friends and maybe suggest some other things to do when you guys do get together. Something that may be a little bit more active, something that maybe is a little bit more creative. And there's nothing wrong with having the food component, because most likely you're spending hours together. You're going to eventually get hungry. But this is the time where you can have your kitchen table talk and honest conversations with your girls and suggest doing and eating something else. Let's go do tennis and meet up at the juice bar after and get us, an avocado toast and a green juice. Let's go rollerblading and then maybe get some sugar-free frozen yogurt instead of an ice cream sundae. Like, what are some ways that we can get creative and do something else so that we all can meet our goals? And maybe it's time to build you a new community of friends that are aligned with where you want to go with your life. And so I love all of my best friends. I love them all. They're maybe not as into health and fitness and wellness as I am. And that doesn't mean that I am judging them because they're not on the same path as me. That also doesn't mean that I am excluding them out my life because now I'm on this path. But for me, that also means that I am going to find it doesn't have to be a whole bunch of friends, but a couple of people who do align with where I'm at, so that I do have somebody to share that with. And it doesn't necessarily mean I have to cut anybody else off, but you can honor yourself by finding the community that aligns with you. The girl that you're always seeing at the gym, maybe finally stop her, get her number, and y'all go to a juice bar after, go get some salads after or something like that. The person you're always seeing at the Pilates class, get her number, follow her on social media. Find the community and the people that align with you. Expand your social circle. And I know as adults, it is hard to find friends. Trust me, I get it. I'm a military spouse. I've been alone for a very long time. So I get it. But it's time to push yourself and find people and things and activities that align with the life that you want to live. Here's the final thing that I'm going to leave you with when it comes to decentering food from your life. Sometimes losing and maintaining your weight is going to feel boring. Everything is revolved around eating, drinking, partying, not getting enough sleep. Honestly, very stressful things that are not conducive to a healthy lifestyle. And in the beginning of your journey, you may feel isolated, like you're missing out because you want to be slim. And your friends may be doing all of these fun things and you feel like you don't even want to show up because you're always going to have to say no. And you don't want to be triggered in that way. And you also don't want to be a buzzkill. And for some people, they might not even want to start this journey or finish this journey because they're not having a life that's fun. But the reality is you can have a fun and fulfilled life and still lose and maintain your weight. And it's all about shifting your mindset and possibly expanding your horizon. In these last 2 years, that's exactly what I did. I found myself being older, I'm in my mid-30s now, knowing that I really don't want to drink and party like that to begin with, but I don't want to be in the house all the time. So I had to expand my horizons. So yeah, I picked up hiking. I'm a city girl. Why am I outside on a mountain where a bear could be? I don't know. But I picked it up and now I love it. And a lot of my friends now are starting their own journeys of being a triathlete and, doing the cycling and the rowing and doing pottery and doing tennis, picking up these different hobbies that don't involve drinking and partying and not getting enough sleep, but they're doing more physical things that will be a stress reliever, that actually will be pleasurable, and that will entice them to do more healthy things, to get more sleep, to actually fuel their body properly so that they can sustain their new hobby. And comment down below and let me know if you want a video focusing on different activities that you can pick up in your skinny girl era or just your healthy girl era. As always, I hope this video was thought-provoking for you and made you think about how you can decenter food from your own life. That way it is not controlling everything that you're doing and making your weight loss journey that much harder. It's never too late to reclaim your life and your health and your happiness. So start doing it today by making the small mindset shifts that you need to have a better outlook on not only your weight loss journey, but your entire life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon. That way you're notified every single time I post a new video. Make sure you're following me on TikTok and Instagram. On TikTok, I'm always hosting lives and answering your questions in a moment. And on Instagram, I'm super active in my stories. This is where you see that I'm doing things day to day in the moment. And I do have a broadcast channel. They end up knowing the tea first, so make sure you're following me over there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.